Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about parallel lines. Now, you'll notice I have a diagram here with line N, line K, and line M. And notice it says off to the side K is parallel to M. Now, sometimes they won't use this diagram. They'll tell you K is parallel to M. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about some trends that you can, or shortcuts that you can use to help you figure out some of these angles if you have two parallel lines. So since these two are parallel, K and M, there are some things that we automatically know about it. Okay? Whenever you have parallel lines cut by a transverse line. Now that sounds complex. What that means is you have two parallel lines, it looks like streets on a map, and you have a transverse line that cuts through them. There are some things that you know. First thing to know is this angle and this angle are equal to each other. This angle and this angle are equal to each other. Now notice I put one mark here and one mark here so you can tell. 2 marks here and 2 marks here. Basically, they're mirrors of each other. If you could pick this one up and lay it on top of it, it'd be exactly the same picture. So that means that this angle, 1, 2, 3, would be equal to this angle. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, would be equal to this angle. So that's always true whenever you have parallel lines cut by a transversal. So let's see what that actually means. Let's say, I'm going to take these little blue lines off my page to make it a little bit easier real quick. Let's say that we're told that angle 1 is 85 degrees. Can we figure out 2 and 3? Well, if this is 85 degrees, then automatically from what we just learned, this is 85 degrees. Now we know that this angle and this angle are equal, but that doesn't help us very much because they didn't give us this angle. But what I do know is that this is a straight line. And a straight line, a line equals 180 degrees. So if I take my calculator, that means that all the way around here is 180 degrees. So if I take my calculator and I take 180 degrees minus 85, I just figured out that this is 95 degrees. So that also means that this is 95 degrees, even though they didn't ask me on this question. But I also have another shortcut here. I wonder, can I figure out these? Well, if this is a straight line, this is also a straight line. And so to figure that one out would be the same thing, 180 degrees, 180 minus 85, I got 95. Ah, interesting. I got 95 degrees here. Now, do you see what's happening? If you have two lines that cross, opposites from each other are equal. So what do you think this one's going to be? I bet since I have two lines crossing across the angle from each other are also 85. So 85 and 85, 95 and 95. How could that possibly happen? Well, if I had a line like this, if I redraw this, that's a line, that's a line, that's a line, and this is a line. All the way around, they're 180 degrees. That's 180 degrees, that's 180 degrees. So I can figure out any of them if I just make sure that I go from one line to the same line. So I end up having some patterns that I can pick up. So can I figure this one out? Well, if this is 95, then automatically from what we already learned, it's 95 degrees. And that proves what we just know, that these are going to be equal to each other because they're opposite. This one's going to be 85 degrees. Why? Because they are across from each other. So this is a shortcut. So let's say that we had another one real quick. And let's say we have these two parallel lines, and I have another, and let's say that this is 70, and then this is 110. Can I figure out all the others? I think I can. If I'm correct, opposite is automatically 70. So these two are equal from what we just learned. We also learned that this and this are also equal. Check my work. Do these two on this line equal 180? 110 and 70 is 180. If this is 110, then this is also 110. If this is 110, then this is 110. If this is 110, then this is 110. If that's 70, then that's 70. Notice how they match. It's a mirror image. If I could cut it right here and pick this one up and lay it there, it's exactly the same picture. So I can figure out any of the angles based on a piece of information that they give me. So that's an easy way to do parallel lines. You can know angles very easily just based on knowing at least one angle. You can figure all the others out. So here's the rule we have. If you have an angle like this, it's automatically going to be the same as this, and it's also going to be the same as this, which means it's also going to be the same as this. Wow, 4 of them match across diagonal to each other and in the same position on both pictures. That's a really quick shortcut for you on dealing with parallel lines, and they love asking questions like this. If you ever get confused, remember that a line is 180 degrees, and if they give you one of them, then you can subtract and figure out what the other is, and then all of a sudden they all start fitting into place, and you know all of your answers. This is how you get degree angles on parallel lines. In the next video, you'll try out the same skill. Let's see how you do.